Good evening and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this week's edition of the Crossroads here on Veterans Anonymous. I am your host, Combat Cricket Jade Lopez, coming to you from Colorado. A blanket of smoke right now, when it's not the kind y'all thinking.
I was like, well, yeah, you are in Colorado. Of course you got plenty.
The fire department's putting out like one section of fire against a brick wall right outside the firehouse.
The
problem is they relight it.
Carl's Jr. is like catering the event. You know, they drive by.
Carl's Jr. is pretty popular up in the mountains. Former 31 Bravo military police in your friend. Little time in Iraq, little time in Haiti. Natty Guard, and welcome again, Miss Kittens.
She didn't let us do the nose thing. So I'm Cuddling Kittens, also known as Jenny. I'm an Air Force veteran, an online college student, a stay-at-home mom, and a very crafty crafter. I also make silly TikToks on the side.
You make some awesome TikToks.
Yes.
I start my morning off waiting for your morning thoughts.
I end my day with her morning thoughts.
I specifically like scan and like, okay, Cuddling
Kittens. Figure out, maybe if we could just have him turn his camera upside down so it makes sense.
Oh, shit.
Able to join us again this evening, the American. How are you?
I'm doing good. Been a busy day. Felix Irving, the American, i.e. sauce boss. Run a barbecue sauce company now. And just kind of helping spread the love, good word, and doing a lot of. Today was full of admin work. Amazing. Yeah. But I did get to go out, right? Even though the skies are heavy with water and ready to rain, I got to roll out on the motorcycle for about an hour into the hills, and I got about 500 miles on the bike now. So that was pretty sweet. Just in time to come home, throw my quick and dirty ribs on the grill. I'm doing a cook to show people that don't have smokers how to smoke meat, even if you don't have a smoker, and get on the show tonight. So thanks to be back.
Uncle Si, as usual, joining us.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, I'm Uncle Si, Dave, Army Guard, Army Reserves, individual ready, active. Yeah, if it was in the Army, I did it. Hi again.
And returning with us again from the future, Ducky.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me. Ducky veteran from down under.
The future.
Yeah, that too. 13 years Royal Australian Navy, and then medically discharged back in 2017, and it's almost 4 years. So 4 years I've almost been out, so it's been an interesting journey.
Thank you once again for joining us.
And Audie, I get a pass because I have sang happy birthday to you, and we gave you a moon pie and a RC Cola out in NTC. Don't even try to lie about that. Just saying.
Audie, I'm going to be nice. I told you happy birthday, but with our birthday boy here, I had to do it. It didn't come out that great, and it's just wherever the hell it went. Happy birthday.
What is that?
Yeah.
I kept the title too of What Is That?
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Tom.
Hi, Jimmy.
Oh boy.
Happy birthday to you.
That's all on me. I ain't singing that shit.
I can't sing. If I start singing, the birds that are migrating are just gonna flock in my bedroom, thinking I'm singing the song of the people.
They start.
They do realize that they're coming down under.
Yeah.
What happened to the birds? I don't know.
They're not real.
Well, see, I want to see Felix duet Kyle's Tiki Taki because Felix can't lie. When this song comes on, when he's in the kitchen or in the truck, he sings along just like I do.
Yeah, but I don't do those on TikTok though. Like, because everyone wants me to duet that Applebee's song. It's fancy like Applebee's on the. I'm like, no, I'm not. I don't dance on TikTok.
Well, you ain't got to dance. Just kind of like. But was that Applebee's song? I thought that was just a commercial song until I realized it was like an actual full-length country song.
Yeah, it's an actual full-length song.
I thought it was just for the commercial on TV for Applebee's.
I thought
Actually,
so. But there is a lot of TikTok songs that I didn't realize were actually songs, just because thought maybe it was just a sound clip.
All he needs to do to dance around is do what Cuddling Kittens did with the sausages.
I have enough issues getting banned on my page for doing nothing.
Literally, today we were playing Call of Duty Warzone, and he was tiki-taki in it, and they cut him off.
Because that was not age appropriate.
But it's Call of Duty.
Hang on. The biggest issue that we should have right now with age appropriateness is the fact that it's never going to be age appropriate from now on.
No,
because you've got people from Australia playing the games with the Americans.
But the biggest thing is it's up to interpretation. What's age appropriate for you is not age appropriate for him, her, you. So,
but no, what it actually is, it's trolls that just report you to ban you.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be that quick and easy to just report someone. Like, if you don't like my content, quit fucking following me.
Well, yeah, like what
they specifically are seeking out, like the higher followings.
And I don't even have 27,000 people. That's not high by any means.
That is high.
Yeah, but the logarithm with the people that watch when you go live or watch your videos, that's what they're doing. It's not how many people you got, it's how consistent you are with getting watches and views.
Well, that's the thing is with one of the guys I moderate, Jenny, you've seen some of his videos. I ended up talking about him before. Gray the Bushy. He ended up releasing a video the other night, and what it was is it's about the veterans that he has over in Afghanistan, and unfortunately, his contact over there is no longer with us.
Oh, bummer.
He ended up, he made the video, and then after he made the video and released it, he got a phone call, and it was saying that the person that he had in a lot of the photos has passed. Damn. So that's the reason why we're saying that there's a lot more to come.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they're not going to release those figures. They don't want to release the figures of, as bad as it sounds, suicide. They don't want to release figures of self-inflicted wounds. They don't want to release any of those figures.
All right,
because they will realise that they are hurting not only the American but also the Australian military.
They're hurting anybody that's in the military that has been deployed to places like this. That lieutenant colonel, I think was his rank in the Marines, battalion commander, that went viral on Facebook and TikTok or whatever, that was like, look, we need to be accountable, blah, blah, blah. Right? I guess he's in a hotel that smells like beer and he's seriously drunk. That just shows you.
See, with that Marine coming out, he knew it was going to happen. He knew it was going to come down on him. It's the same thing that happened. It's the same thing that happened with the Navy captain last year, calling for help and outing the leadership,
and
not doing their job, and they relieved him of his post.
And they failed him by not following through to take care of him. That's every military, every country, the Brits, the Aussies, America, Canada.
Don't do in uniform.
Well, that's the one thing I like at the moment. I'm no longer.
Wait a minute, Jade. Remember Lieutenant General Vidman that came out in opposition about a phone call that Trump had out of the chain of command in uniform? How is he any different than what that lieutenant colonel in the Marine Corps did? He went outside his chain of command because something wasn't right.
See, and I don't know about that.
Yeah, one dude's on a book tour. One dude's in a beer-smelling hotel room on edge.
Yeah. They pick and choose, unfortunately. They decide to pick and choose.
Oh, Mother Reaper is here. Hey.
Marlene, how are you doing? I'm doing some work in the back end. Sorry, I can't see you guys right now.
Back end.
He's doing his admin work for his business.
No, actually, I'm actually doing work for the network.
I want to get back to one thing up there. Tom, you said you're never age appropriate. Yeah, you've already admitted you're a cradle robber with Missy. Just saying. I think there's like a 10-year age difference.
I honestly thought that he was, and don't take this the wrong way, Tom, but I honestly thought that he was more than 10 years older than me. Not saying that it was because of his looks or anything. It's just I don't know why.
The Amish I he was older than that.
Yeah, the Amish.
When I first met Tom, I was like, wow, I didn't know Amish joined the Marine Corps. That's real progressive.
Well, that's the thing is 10 years age difference has been around for so long.
Yeah, we got a gnome from Illinois checking in, Matt King.
Matthew King, how you doing, brother?
He owns a kick-ass bar in Secor, Illinois. If you ever get to the States, Ducky, you got to go there. The food is amazing, the vibe, everything, just awesome.
Now, is it going to be a true American-style bar?
Yes.
Yes, you will get stabbed at some point. You might get shot at. Different American.
Hang on, are we talking about barroom fights as well?
There may or not been any when I was there.
Just as long as he doesn't serve me Fosters.
We can see.
No, he doesn't have those. No, he does not. No.
So, Tom, make sure when he gets there, you only stock Fosters.
No, what you want to do? What's the other? There's another Aussie beer that Yanks like to drink. That's not Foster's. You know what I mean, Ducky?
Victorian Bitter.
That might be it. It's like, I'm too good to drink Foster's. I like this. This is what the real Aussies drink. And all you guys are like, fuck off, mate.
Victorian Bitter, yes, it is a very popular bitter drink. But for a lot of, there's a lot of beer styles here in Australia. And now with all the craft beers coming out, it's absolutely insane.
Oh, I can imagine.
As you saw last week with the 2 cans of Brewtalk beer.
How do you think we feel here? They fucking weird hippies
destroyed beer here.
No, the hippies destroyed it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, the hipsters. Hipsters.
We've got that many breweries, but then also me being in Adelaide, we are spoiled by choice. We've got wineries, we've got distilleries as well. So we've got 3 major regions here in Adelaide for wineries.
I got a question, Ducky.
Yeah.
What is I know here in the States we got moonshine. Okay. And so I got to ask a question. What was do you guys got Australia moonshine? Because now I'm intrigued.
No, we don't. We don't have a single line of moonshine.
No, I'm just saying you ain't got no you ain't got no hillbillies up in the woods with the still and a fire No, really? What? Wow.
It's regulated. It is regulated.
In my best Maury Povich voice, and that is a lie. You don't have any backwoods Aussies out there burning up shine?
Come on. Equivalent to a redneck?
We can make for our own supply.
Okay.
We are not allowed to sell.
Well, that's what we were
So,
asking about. selling.
That's
We were
what I'm
talking about
saying.
this
That's
making.
basically what moonshine is like you make it and then you like trade things for it, which technically isn't selling.
It's bartering.
No, unfortunately, we're not allowed to do that.
Have
But
some friends
I know,
over, they
or
might take
it's
a couple pints.
only
Well,
in the last 10 years, realistically.
Technically,
Only in the
nobody.
last 10 years I've started to see it.
Yeah, technically here in the States, nobody's allowed to do that either. There was a whole. That's how NASCAR started, was running moonshine. You know.
Yeah, but you only turn left.
But
That's my favorite part.
they're doing a couple of tracks where they go left and right. I do gotta admit,
And they crash even more.
I love the Aussie series where they got the like super trucks, and then every now and then there's a jump. You know, you come out of turn one and like, oh crap. You know.
That's the thing is that is usually in line with what we call the V8 supercars.
Yeah.
It used to be until Holden shut down in 2017. It used to be really good. It used to be the Australian rivalry of Ford versus Holden. And it was great. You knew who your competitor was at home. You would turn around and go, and you would be able to tell by their clothes of who they went for. It's the age-old saying, when you turn around and ask someone about what smokes they drink.
Whoa, time out. Jade, grab Bradley Jackson's comment there. You all right, brother? Yeah, you okay, Bradley? I didn't mean to interrupt, but like,
no, definitely.
We've done it before on the show. When somebody reaches out like this or something like that, man, you know, I just want to check and make sure you're doing all right.
Yeah, absolutely. He's better. Good
to hear, brother. Good to hear.
Yeah, no.
We're
that's
here
exactly
if you need to reach out as well.
Yeah. We're here even if you need to chat or anything else, as soon as that happens.
Because even Ducky has said it. He's on the complete opposite side of the world, under north. He's upside down. He's upside down to us, but he's up when we're sleeping. And so if you're up in the middle of the night, reach out to him. He's probably more than likely up. So
yeah,
if you can't get a hold of any of us.
So, and that's what I've said so many times of. Even in the recall roster, hey guys, if you're having a hard time or anything else, reach out. I'm always available usually, and it's usually not until at least I see one person, two person, three person saying good morning that I'll actually go to sleep.
Right.
So it gives us 24 hours of being able to talk to people. That way, if you wake up at 3 a.m. in the morning having a massive nightmare like I did a few months back, and I couldn't get back to sleep, I just jumped on and I've just had this nightmare. It's not good. I need an event session. I need to talk. And there was someone on the chat line, so I ended up jumping on them. I went out from my bedroom. I came downstairs where no one could hear me, and I sat there for 3.5 hours just talking about shit, because some days you just need to talk shit.
I totally do. That's how I've met a lot of people on Facebook, Ducky, was just, you know, like I've seen somebody or I've been the person that's like, you know, hey guys, my cat just died. I'm feeling kind of like crap. And then boom, boom, boom. And it's like you pick which one and you're like, okay, for some reason, whatever reason, you vibe right there and you're like, hey, how you doing? You know, and then 3.5 hours, 5 hours later, next thing you know, 2 years later, we're on Tiki-Taki and, you know.
Yeah. And that's the best. I think that's the best thing at the moment is the fact that we have this medium. We can talk to anyone from around the world. We can get British. We can get Irish. We can get Russian sometimes. I've seen Russian. I've seen New Zealand. That's always fun because you have New Zealand versus Australian, and our antics are legendary.
Yeah.
I had to ask what a Kiwi was.
A Kiwi is a New Zealander.
I know. They've told me,
Yeah.
and they're just like, oh, because I was like writing y'all, and they're like,
Oh,
oh, that's so American. I'm like, rude.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
partied.
no,
I went to a bar when we were in Seoul in South Korea, and it was close to the embassy area, and so like all the embassy personnel would go there and party. And so we were sitting at the bar one night, and Aussie and New Zealand, or Aussies and Kiwis got into a fight one night about something. It was like over football. Your guys' football, not mine. You know,
rugby.
yeah,
Over
no,
rugby.
no, it wasn't rugby. It was AFL.
Oh, yeah. It usually starts with rugby.
Yeah, it might have started that way, but then it was like, and then fists were thrown, and then at the end of it, they were drinking shots and buying shots for everybody. And I'm like, I like you fuckers.
Yeah. We don't
You're
mess
crazy,
around. We'll
but I like
throw
you.
fists and then we'll end up drinking.
It's
But
how we are
usually
with our
it's
grandkids.
we usually have the running gag between the Australian and the New Zealanders, because here in Australia, sheep, so lambs and everything else, they outlive, and there are 3 sheep to 1 person in Australia.
Bro, I hate to admit this, but here in Iowa, there's like 1 pig to every, or there's 10 pigs to every 1 person here in Iowa.
Sounds like good date.
But the thing is that with the New Zealanders, we've always had the running gag of why does a New Zealander have Velcro gloves on?
That's not only a New Zealand thing. We have the same joke in America for.
Oh yeah,
Playing a game of whack fuck. That timing.
So yeah, we have that running gag.
Oh man, Bradley, that sucks, bro.
So yes, Bradley, like I completely understand like you having your brothers not pick up, but just know that you have extended family.
Yep, absolutely.
Like you said,
Appreciate your honesty and reaching out tonight, and
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's the good thing about this is we've got a way to contact people.
Well, and that's what the interwebs should be used for, is for good, not for all of this other stuff that's going on out there,
Absolutely.
You should be able to connect with people with similar interests or backgrounds and talk and get help and become
absolutely.
Become okay. If you want to get better, but if you want to just maintain.
Especially with the last year and a half too. I've been saying it since the beginning. It's like not only do we have that common bond of the camaraderie that we miss, but we are also going through the same shit. Like
right.
Remote learning and quarantines and all this whirlwind shit that is going on. We're with you. You're not alone. And
Sup?
Miss Annie.
Hi, Annie.
I just got a photo from one of the guys I usually work with.
Ruh-roh. Keep it PG-13.
It's not only PG-13, but it is a car that everybody would absolutely love.
Negative, Ghost Rider.
A limo Corvette? No way.
No, that's a limo Camaro.
Oh, it is a Camaro. My bad.
Fuck
Yeah.
is that?
A limo Camaro.
The fuck is that?
A limo Camaro. What is that? What is that? The Lamborghini bitch? You know that TikTok? Where it's like, what is that? The Lamborghini?
That is outside of the job. That is outside of the job that mate is doing. Because I usually work with a cabinet maker and everything else. That is what he has got in front of the house that he is delivering the stuff to today.
All right. I hate to do it. I got to burst your bubble. I think Felix has seen the pictures. I've talked to him about, I live about 2 houses from a bar, right? I look out my window one day. I see a 1941 Ford pickup truck, totally restored.
Oh.
Parked right behind it is a 1971 daily driver Malibu Chevelle.
Do we have that picture?
Guess what pulls up behind it? a 2021 Lamborghini Huracan.
Yeah, the Huracan.
Hurricane.
The
It's a Huracan.
yeah,
It's spelled. They don't say Hurricane. They call it a Huracan.
right. They were all three red. I was just sitting out my window going, "Fuck, I love my neighborhood," you know.
Hang on.
Hi.
I froze, I guess.
Oh yeah,
Again.
Mike. I was telling. Well, the guy that owned the Chevelle came out and was looking at the Lambo, and I was like, "There ain't," because he parks in my driveway when he doesn't trust the street, you know, which is cool because I get to look at a '71 Chevelle all fucking day. So, but yeah, he was sitting there talking to the guy, and I was like, "Dude, there ain't no way you can get into that Lamborghini. You're older than I am, you know."
Well, that's what so when I retired out of the Air Force, you know, I always wanted to get back because I always had fast cars, and they're not so, I won't say nice. They were like the more youthful fast cars, you know, like Eagle Talons, you know, Galant VR4s and stuff like that and whatnot. Just, you know, little Ford bangers that produced a lot of horsepower. And I was older. I'm like, I want to get something, you know, like that older guy gets. And I looked at the Corvette. And the newer Vet, I love the body style. And I remember going to the Chevy dealership and I sat in it and I'm like, this isn't too bad. It's whatever, you know. And then I went to get out and I'm like, do you guys have a person to follow me to throw a mat on the ground so I can roll out of this sumbitch every time I need to get out? Because I'm like, I felt like I was 90 years old and I'm like, I think I'm just go get on that Camaro. Because the Camaro still lower to the ground, not as low, but at least you sit up more. So
yeah, the seat wasn't as low. Yeah,
the seat's
Corvette,
not like
yeah.
But I've been in those supercars, and they're not like built for Americans. And I hate to say that, but it's
No, they're
like,
not. They're not.
You get them custom ordered, but they're not built for average size American people.
They're built for cricket.
Yeah.
No,
Seriously,
because-
Jay, if you wanted to be a race car driver or a backup or a test driver for a race car driver, you could. Because I met Tony Kanaan when, I don't know if he retired or not. I got to meet his backup driver, and she was as short as you are, this little older lady. It was out in Reno, and she goes, "Yeah, I'm his exact body type." So when they build him he comes to do the mold for his seat. But when they do everything else and they can't get a hold of him, she does all the testing and everything else because that's his body type. And I'm like, yeah, I could never fit in one of those. Yeah.
Yeah, no. Well, I'm only 6 foot, but I'm broke. There's no way I'd have to like low crawl out of the Lambo, you know.
Now, if they made it like the Batmobile where you're sitting forward, like a bed. Like, yeah, you know, hell with my bike, I got to get new handlebars just so I can sit up more and not lean into it.
Right back. Beer straw.
Yeah. Well, speaking of motorbikes, the same guy, Gray the Bushy, he unfortunately lost his pride and joy last week as well. He had his motorbike going up. He ended up having his motorbike go up for a service. He was supposed to be going up to a town in Western Australia called Geraldton. And unfortunately, at the service centre, he got a phone call from the service centre, and they said, there's been an accident. We need you to come up. And the only thing he got left, it's one of those bad phone calls of when you get there and you say, "Oh, what's going on?" And they look at you, and what happened was, unfortunately, a tow truck driver came around the corner and RIP 3 Harley Davidsons.
Oh.
And one was a vintage.
Oh.
So you can imagine. Pardon?
Insurance?
Yeah.
Yeah, they all have insurance, but the problem was the it was sentimental value
Well,
of that.
I know that part. I just meant, I get the sentimental value. I just wanted
Yeah,
to
Yeah.
know.
still,
like,
yeah.
I get it, but they can at least make you you at least could be made whole partly. And how I always look at it, there's sentimental value, and I literally always have looked at it like this. If shit that happens like that, guess what? Time to build new memories.
Yes.
Unfortunately, his father was the one that helped him build that motorcycle, and and because his father's passed, that's what made it even worse.
And with a bike,
So-
you can take. I know you could probably salvage some parts off to put on a new bike, or there's something. Yeah, there's always a way to carry on the memory.
Definitely. So,
We cool is if
ooh.
he got the stuff melted down into a bell.
It is payday, by the way.
Yes. Oh,
My payday's next week.
A minute. I got some pretty cool stuff up, and we have a little spot for from Dave's past. So, in light of the fall, and everyone's clamoring for pumpkin spice this, pumpkin spice that. We're gonna start our meetings out with,
It's fall. It is
bam.
fall, biatches.
Hey, 20 bucks is $20, man. I needed the money.
Oh,
You know the sad thing?
That has to feel
It's never that hard.
That's what she said.
And just wow, just you might be this old, yeah.
True.
I still have a DVD player that takes that. Does
I
that.
was just getting ready to say I still have those exact cables.
I
hooked
have
to
those
my
cables
TV.
somewhere, and every time I find them, I want to throw them away, but it's like I don't want to in case shit goes bad and you have to use old technology.
Like I said, I still have that hooked to my TV from my surround sound.
Oh, you want to know the real funny thing?
What?
With those 3 cables, I used to annoy the people by going to the back of the TV and swapping them.
Hey, Bradley, PM me, direct message me, whatever it is that like
I'm talking to him right now.
does. Yeah, I know somebody. You know her too.
Which would be you could still pull it off at a kid's birthday. Be like, look, Spider-Man saved me.
Spider-Man saved it.
Especially if your kid likes Spider-Man. Yeah, he'd be like, "Oh, that's a cool cake."
And we've all been here. I know I have. 3 a.m, like you down like a gallon of water for some reason.
I will neither confirm or deny.
Me explaining my life to my friends.
Oh, cool. Right?
Once every year.
That is definitely me.
Pretty much.
Probably all of us could relate.
No, they didn't see me. But I look like a psycho just now.
How much do you overthink me?
I have done that.
I hate these
I've
things.
done that.
I hate that. I've done that. I'm like, okay, what are
And
they?
then you have to do it like 16 times
a
because
part-
you overthink it.
Or when you look at something, you're like, is that a walkway?
Yeah. Is that
There's a crosswalk.
Is that in there? Is that not in there? What?
And anyone in the hurricane, this is everyone in the right
Wilson! Come back, Wilson.
And unfortunately, right now, vets feel like this. It is truly, guys, not this bad, but this is how we feel.
Great.
This is what usually happens in Australia.
Like, yeah,
In the middle of summer.
Mate.
I was just going to say Americans and their hurricane parties.
Yeah.
Or tornado
Told this
parties.
class, fame will come to you only after you succeed. A blonde ass who
Oh, oh, oh,
That's almost as good as the chrome off a tow ball.
You know, good day, mate. Aussie Helpline.
oh.
I'm in Darwin with Sheila, and she's been stung by a. What are these things? I don't know what that is.
Stung on the minge by a what? Wasp?
The minge is the map. The minge is the map of Tasmania.
Oh, okay. And now her puss has completely closed up. Bummer, mate. Thanks, mate. I had thought about it. Bye. Oh, wow. I had to bring that in there for you, Ducky.
It's true, though. and that's sort of humor that we've got.
This is Dave's first tactical light when he was in the military.
No, it's not that. That tactical light doesn't work. It used to be a stick on flame.
I was going to say I had a torch, man. Come on, get it right.
I got that from W tonight.
Oh, I
Hurricane party. Where?
got the Florida man's ears perked up.
Right.
Well, dude, I seen him. Hurricane party. Oops, sorry.
Mafatazi.
Seen Hurricane. Why is that still there? It's not supposed to be there. Wow. There we go.
It was not me.
I'm going to go old school real quick, right? You see the jacket I'm wearing?
What is that?
Yeah. Windbreaker.
Right. What is that?
Okay.
So what logo's on there?
Oh, you mean?
Lift up.
Hold on.
The other side. Asking Uncle Si to model.
On air, going shirtless. I get the zipper down.
So much
There we go.
See, what had happened was with our
Oh, gotcha. Be like those guys on TikTok. Cool Leonard Skinner coat. Like what? That's not
So yeah, imagine that. I was a kind of still am a deadhead. So like when I went to Korea in '94, you could literally go into Tongdashan right outside Camp Casey, get anything made that you wanted by anybody.
Mm-hmm.
You can still do that.
Yeah, you can get suits made. I seen guys that would see like a Boys to Men CD cover. The next day they were wearing those jackets. You know, I went in and I was like, all right, I want to get something cool. So I got a Grateful Dead tracksuit. I got the matching pants. What's cool about those is the sleeves zip off and the pants zip off to make
cool.
shorts. Well,
that is very 90s. The moment I saw that jacket, I was just like, that's a flashback.
But yeah, so
like, what is he wearing?
I had to bring them for the big fucking steal your face on the back. I had to bring them something because they had never heard of the Grateful Dead, and I just like almost died in the shop in Korea. Like, you've never heard of the Grateful Dead, you know?
Dude, I just heard this. Someone just sent me a message. It's actually the only good news I heard out of California. The governor just signed a bill that lets student athletes start making money off of their name.
Oh, yeah, the NCAA's been talking about that. Yeah, that's a big deal.
I've been for that forever. As not saying I wasn't in a school that anyone would know, but playing sports in college, I've worked in a store. I've known guys that played in the NFL when they were in college, that when they were in college couldn't afford to eat, and I've seen their jerseys in my store selling for $200.
Okay, now I agree with that, but like when you get guys that get full scholarships where they get room, board, education, should they be also banking money while they're going to college? That's totally
it's their name.
Yes, not that it's their name, it's their body that they're putting up for the sport. Because one bad hit, okay, you got an education, but you can also become a vegetable. So you should be getting.
I get that. Okay,
you should be getting paid unless you're sitting down calculating numbers. and you have no physical threats to your physical being, you know.
Okay.
And like even when I was in school, they when they broke up, because we had football dorms, and then they were like, well, it's not fair for football players to have dorms, so they let everyone in. And I was talking to a guy on the freaking golf team. He goes, yeah, man, we get dorm. I'm like, you guys don't bring any money to the school. Like, so none of these other sports bring money. Like, if these football players just decided to quit, you know, and we almost tried that back in the early 90s, super early 90s. We were going to predicate a walkout.
Believe it or not, I got a partial.
Night, Michael.
I got a partial
No, just
scholarship.
Michael leaving, or if he's saying goodnight to Christine.
Oh, I got a partial scholarship to community college for wrestling. Then they cut the wrestling program.
One of my ship's bowl, or I'm not sure if you guys do it, ship's bowls for the Navy.
Wait, what
basically
did you
a party.
Did
Are you saying shit balls?
Yes, as in
Like-
a cocktail party.
Like poop, and balls in one word. 'Cause that's what I heard.
No,
was shit balls.
shit as in Navy vessel floating on water.
Oh shit!
A boat.
That is not what I heard. I heard like poop ball.
I was with kittens. I heard shit ball.
No, do you guys like their cocktail parties? We had a guy get a purple velvet suit with top hat built for him.
Do you have a stick?
Created.
He gets a
sewn up
Did he
and
get
bought in Dubai back in 06.
Did he get the stick and the cup with it?
Yep.
Hilarious.
Awesome.
He then ended up, one of his other mates decided to go, have you guys seen The Wiggles? The Wiggles is a child's, I'll send you a photo of The Wiggles. There's 4 colors on their coloration at the moment.
One thing about the Wiggles, about the only thing, if you're not a parent like I am, everybody else up there knows the Wiggles. I don't have kids, thankfully.
Mother swallows at night.
But apparently there was a couple years ago, one of the Wiggles was a pedophile or some creepy guy like that.
No, what happened is he actually had cancer.
Wait a minute, that's a drastic different
That is-
lane
yeah.
and conversation. Your
It
pedophile
was-
really had
it
cancer.
was,
Wait a minute.
What was going on here in the States was that like one of the Wiggles was like a little kitty.
Can I had Teletubbies?
No, the Wiggles were like
No.
the
No,
Wiggles.
okay, maybe it was the Teletubbies that had the pedophile. It was the Wiggles that had the cancer guy.
Teletubbies had a pedophile.
Yeah. What happened was
My bad.
the Wiggles, what happened is one guy ended up dropping out very quickly and just left. And everyone was throwing theories around going, oh, what happened and why and everything else. And it took a year before they actually said, oh, the reason why he left so suddenly is he found that he had stage 4 cancer.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I like because it was the.
And that was the
Wiggles,
yellow
and then
Wiggle.
Australian group. Wasn't the Australian group the
Yeah.
Giggles? And they were like the parody. They had Mother Swallows at Night because it was about the bird because out here right now, they have them all flying around this time of year because they eat all the bugs and they fly around at night. So the song is about Mother Swallows the bird. But when they sing it, it's very suggestive. And I don't want to play it here, but I would tell you people to look up the song Mother Swallows at Night on YouTube and also listen to all their other songs because they have the one that goes, and so it's set up like we are. And so if I started going, and it goes, I got the clap. The clap. And then they start, and everyone starts clapping. And they go, and they give it, and they're like, whoop, and I got the clap. And then it starts.
And then what you realize is that all koalas on the Australian mainland have the clap.
Have the clap. And all their songs are like that.
Oh.
They should be copyrighted.
Well,
Did they? Are you
Okay. I'm going to ask questions because I'm a single guy and I've seen it because, like, I get high and watch cartoons. But when did you guys watch cartoons with your kids and then realized that the cartoons weren't as PG as you remembered.
Oh, dude, I wish is fucking horrible. G.I. Joe is sexist, racist, misogynist.
Ren and Stimpy is a complete fucking acid trip. Like, what the fuck?
Like, dude, every black character in G.I. Joe rhymed. All of them. The paramedic, Roadblock, and there was one other guy, and they all spoke in rhyme. And then one episode I tried to watch on YouTube, like Lady J was like kidnapped by Cobra, and they were like, "Oh my God, we have to save Lady J. Like she can't do it by her." Like it was just totally like, "Oh my." I remember talking to mom like, "You let me watch this shit?"
Right? Yeah. You want to look at your mom and dad and go, "Really? You wonder why I am the way I am when you let me do what I did."
I got the song. Let's see if it's in the copyrighted.
I was gonna say, were you able to pull up that
Here it comes.
Uh-oh.
Josh, can you see their babies in the nest? Yes, they're mothers. Hi, mate. Mother birds are cool. Yeah, mothers, you like these? Let me tell you about these birds. See the Robinson morning, jumping all over the ground.
I broke up with the gal over the Barney song. I'm not even going to joke.
Awesome when they take flight. Those birds are mother swallows at night.
Thankfully, I got to go get a beer.
Mother swallows at night. Mother swallows at night. Wow, those birds really are cool. I think swallowers are my favorite too.
I gotta go. I'm really busy.
Is that YouTube?
It's still going. Cut it off. Make it stop.
I'm clapping my hands.
Oh, I know the duck one. The duck walked up to the lemonade stand.
This is the very reason I did not have children.
All right, I'll try it. How's it go? It goes like this. I've got the clap and I'm giving it to you. I've got the clap and I'm giving it to you.
I do.
Oh my God.
And now you know the sad thing. All you can imagine now is seeing a big koala with the big grey ears going, "Hi."
Every time I listen to that, I can't how many times I've heard this. We had this on a CD deployed, just playing in the maintenance area, like low, just to fucking laugh. Oh my God!
Well, I can't believe I just danced to it. So.
Oh.
Do we have Kyle's TikTok?
I do not.
Kittens.
My internet will not sustain.
Okay, maybe you got the worst internet. I thought mine was bad.
Dude, I live in the hills.
It won't play with sound unless I pull it up on my phone.
Well, you
then I pull it up on the internet.
Well, Bradley, we would like to thank your wife for being there. A lot of people don't have anybody.
Let me see.
Yeah. No, well, that's the thing.
When I saw Kyle's TikTok, it got into my head and it reminded me of when I was younger, and I had to duet that thing. If you don't know, you got to follow Kyle Killinger because he's my brother on TikTok. He does some funny stuff.
Real baby Jesus on TikTok.
Real baby Jesus. My bad. Dang. But because he's my brother. because he's my brother on Facebook.
Yes.
So, but yeah, he did a TikTok and it made me smile and laugh, and I was like, I gotta fucking laugh.
All right.
All right, I'm
Whoa,
trying to
whoa.
send it to you over
All right.
Messenger.
Hold up. Let me share a screen.
Well, the other thing
Let me
is,
share a
is
screen
that
here. I found
my better half
Yeah,
video.
it's
was-
not. I can't get it to send.
Ooh, tornadoes in Jersey. Naders.
All right, listen up.
Yeah.
Stay safe out there, Gunny.
No volume. You forgot to hit the little other button thingy. This just looks really
Hey, Mom,
weird.
run anyway. That's the new shirt, isn't it?
I think so.
Not sure.
I'm not sure.
I don't
I
know.
believe it. I believe it is. I believe he said it was. Better silent. Funny with the sound. It's hilarious. It's hilarious either way.
Yeah.
Because I do believe that that's his new shirt for this year.
Well, yeah, and then I saw
there
that.
you go.
I saw
you
that.
Hey!
What's going on?
I added it to my playlist because I started running again. I finally got medically
It's a
cleared
good
to
song.
do that.
It's a
And
good
it's on my
running.
playlist. So I can be like running.
It's a good
That's what I'm
running song because it's got a good
Yes.
cadence.
Yes.
You know what else has a good cadence? This cracked me up. The old school army used to send you off to be PLDC to learn how to be a leader, and they'd call different people out to like call cadence. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're the army. Blah blah blah. I got out there and I realized that War Pigs from Black Sabbath is a running cadence. So I'm out there. I'm like, generals gathered in their masses. Just like children at black masses.
How
And they were
many
like,
pieces
get
of
back in
that
formation, Ron.
That's
You're
not a
done
good.
calling.
That's not a good.
Yeah,
running
they were
song.
like, you're done calling cadence. And I was like, I won. That's what I wanted. I don't like calling cadence.
Mission successful.
But
I think Gary Owen, the comedian, is a white guy. He's pretty hilarious. He's a Navy vet. He talks about that calling cadence. He goes, when I was in basic, I went through and I had my drill sergeant, calling cadence. And he goes, when I got out, he goes, I realized my drill sergeant was calling cadence to like Boys to Men. He goes, I'm sitting there with a girl being all romantic, and all of a sudden this song comes on, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God.
Well, yeah,
He just thinks back. He goes, that dude was singing Boys and Men as we marching. He
yeah,
just was like, that is hilarious.
it's got that right beat. Boom, 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 boom. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
You have to remember that all parody songs are amazing because it makes you laugh, makes you cry sometimes.
We called them in tech school. We called them. There was that one about the C-130 being like a woman. We called.
But I've got
C-130 going down. There's nothing up on the screen.
It's Amber, but it's Amber checking in.
I
Hello,
got-
love.
I'm old school. I got some cadences that get us banned.
Yeah, there's some that I heard. There's some I heard when I was in basic that they called when we were running in formation and then in tech school because I went.
Do y'all know what happened
put-
to the yellow bird?
Yeah, that one was a little disturbing.
Yeah,
I'd be like,
And
you
then,
killed the little bird? Like, what the
and,
fuck?
and some of them make you like you're sitting there and you start thinking about it, like, what are we talking about? But then we had at Pensacola, we had Marines running at 4 a.m. Like, what are you doing? We're still sleeping, and you hear them running in the drainage ditches, and because they have giant drainage ditches on those bases because it's Florida, and it echoed off the ditches, and you'd hear them, and you're just like, that was my alarm for 5 months.
I guess I'm old enough. My dad was a drill instructor at Fort Leonard Wood right after the Nam War. And I remember him doing and writing cadences for the next day. Part of their goal was to make a trainee cry each day.
That's a good one. That's a good goal.
But that's easy sometimes.
Well, the 70s, were different here in the States,
I'll tell you, the only person in tech school, like basic training, that got me, I don't care how big and bad the guy, like my head instructor in my squad was the blue rope in the training video for the Air Force. Like,
for those of you that don't know, blue rope is a drill instructor.
No, he's the head drill instructor.
They get warm hugs.
They don't all get the blue rope.
The blue disc for Army.
Yeah. So it was like,
Emotional
I remember
support,
when I saw him. When I saw him, I was like, I know him from somewhere. And then someone was like, yeah, he was in the training video. Oh my God. And I was like, are you serious? And he dude's like 6'6", just yoked and just everything. But he yelled and it didn't faze me. Who broke me down was a 5'2" black senior airman female, senior airman Brown, about to put on staff sergeant. She ripped me a new one. For one, she was gorgeous. For two, she made me fear God, because the whole female mother thing, because you're like, oh, it's a female. And she's just ripping your soul out. And she literally was short enough to bounce her hat off my chin as she yelled at me. And it got me to do a tear. And then that tear fell, and it got worse.
I got swarmed by 3 female drill instructors that are not instructors. What the fuck? Drill sergeants that were all my height or like maybe 2 inches taller than me. That was the scariest fucking thing in my entire life. Was having eye contact with these drill sergeants.
Like, dude,
because the big guys, they would just yell over me. I would just like stare at their rank. But when the females, oh my God.
I have to reply to John real quick. Back in the 70s, blue disc on a drill instructor hat in a trainee environment was not signifying infantry. My dad wore the blue disc and actually had the cord on his campaign hat, the drill instructor hat, Smokey the Bear hat, whatever you want to call it. I remember that. Back in the 70s, it was a little different, John. Now I know nowadays blue disc is infantry, but back in the day it was a little different. Just saying.
But I just had to kind of, I guess, when you have, so my first week, we're marching around still, like I think we just got our uniforms, and they just changed the rule book for all the instructors. So they were going through new rules, new like doctrine through basic, and the TIs had to like conform like that. And I remember seeing this kind of gave me a little bit of extra like fuck you in my head, because they dropped a kid to do push-ups, and they dropped him, and immediately the TI walks off, and another TI like runs up to him and like whispers, and he turns around and he goes, "Get off the ground!" And the kid like looks up and stands up, and he goes, "Get over there!" And I'm like, they can't make us do push-ups. And then I'm like,
it clicked.
We had cats like that. Like, yeah, we got off the cattle truck, and like, you're hugging your duffel bag, and the drill instructors are like, "Drop," and you like drop, and they're like. And you're like, what are they? And you see one cat start doing push-ups. You're like, oh, that's what we're supposed to do,
Yeah. And so I was like, they can't touch us, but they can still instill or feel or God. We had he was a
can
Hispanic.
Correct you.
It was a Hispanic, and I probably told this story before. Master Sergeant, so E6, E7, sorry. And he was doing dorm like inspections at night, and my head was to the center so I can see the wall lockers. And one of my buddies gets up to take a piss, and this night he doesn't see the guy because the guy had his flashlight cupped, so he was cupping the flashlight, and as he gets to the locker, he would pop it and look at the uniform and then cup it. Well, as he had it cupped, my buddy like walked by, and I saw it all, pushes him out the way, because he can't see him. And this dude, smooth, spins around, grabs my buddy by the shirt, and has him up on the wall and looking up at him, and has the flashlight in his eyes. And the dude's eye, all I see is his eye, is his fear. And he's like, what are you doing here? And the guy's like, it was almost like, where the fuck did you come from? And that dude, we gave him so much hell. He was the head TI for like a couple squadrons, I guess. Hey, Frank, what's going on? And he was not on the authority
I don't have big feet though, so I can't be a hobbit.
He wasn't on the authority enter list to come into the dorms. Well, when our TI had to take a break, they put him in charge of us. Well, no one put the memo up on the wall of who was allowed to enter. Well, who was on night watch? Airman Snuffy Irving. And he comes and he slaps his ID up. I read it. I look at the wall. And I look back and I'm like, sir, you do not have authority to enter the dorm. And he's like, let me in. And I'm like, sir, that's my only line for the last 10 minutes of this engagement was, sir, you do not have authority to enter the dorm. As he starts punching the window, yelling at me to let him in because he tried his key, and I looped my arm around the deal, and he is like a foot shorter and probably 100 pounds lighter than me. So I just sat there with like that, holding it as he yanked on the door. And I'm like thinking in my head, I'm protecting my brothers from this intruder. And I literally, like, he couldn't overpower me. I was he couldn't do it. And he was just, then he started punching the window, yelling, and I'm like, sir, you don't have authority to enter the dorm. And he finally leaves. Like, everyone's awake now. And like, what the fuck's going on? I'm like, I don't know. But I didn't I'm not letting him in. He's not on the list.
I don't know what to do.
I'm like, I passed the test. Right? I passed. Well, the squawk box on the wall that everyone knows and loves, you hear it key in, click, you hear Airman Irving. And I don't know why we stood at attention at this damn box, because it's like, you didn't.
I did it too.
They knew, because you wouldn't. They're like, stand at attention when you're talking to me. You're like, where's the fucking camera? But they're like, let Sergeant so-and-so in. And I'm like, sir, yes, sir. And he comes back up. And he hit the window hard enough to crack it. And I had to let him in. And he looks at me and he gave me that. Like, if he could have killed me, he gives me that look up and the whole, and I'm just like,
bro, I remember being like whatever age, and you are in kindergarten on Fort Leonard Wood when my dad was a drill. And like mom would make dinner and we would drive to the barracks where he had to be CQ for the night. And we would like knock on the door and like all of these guys would be scared. I'm like Jade size, you know. And I remember all of these kids being scared, my dad walking out and all these guys doing like this and stuff, you know, and running and, you know, and then we'd go in, we'd eat dinner and, you know, I got to go to the grenade range when I was in kindergarten.
Yeah, our TI let his freaking daughter, because his wife would come and we're sitting there and we're lining up when we hear the door and this little girl, probably 6, comes skipping through our dorm. And Jen, you guys can attest, you don't see normal life. Like, so you don't see kids, you don't see bird, you don't see shit. And all of a sudden this kids start skipping through and everyone's like, are we hallucinating? Is this real?
Little person.
Yeah.
Like, what do we do? And she's just like, hi guys. And we're like, speak. And then he walks around with his daughter holding her and his wife, and he's talking, pointing, and giving his wife our names. And she's just like, hello. And we wouldn't speak. And he'd be like, look at us. We're like, hi, ma'am.
The bad part about that is where my dad was a drill instructor is where I went to basic training at.
Oh, so they knew your name.
Not yet, until my dad called and asked about a certain company, not me by name. Now here's where the drills are psycho. We had drill instructor come out and they were like, whose dad was a drill instructor here, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, and they're like, we know your name. And I'm like, from then on, I was drill sergeant's baby. They would see me like 2 blocks away, and I'm pushing Fort Leonard Wood.
My recruit story is slightly amusing because it went full circle.
And
I
Frank,
ended up my first day at HMAS Cerberus, which is our training establishment. I basically arrived on the bus, got off the bus, threw my shit in the baggage store, and there was a petty officer there. Now, I always had it ingrained in my head of whenever you've got a superior, always say, sir. I got yelled at by this PO.
oh yeah,
And his comment was, my name is Petty Officer blank, and I work for a living.
that's the same thing we got here. Like when somebody says, this, it's like, no, I'm an NCO. I work for a living.
10 years later, I see a lieutenant commander. Back then it was a lieutenant blank. And I've looked at the name and I'm like, I wonder if he's the same guy. Did he go commission? So sure enough, I've walked in, I've signed all the paperwork, I've walked in, I've handed in my forms, and I've just looked at him and I've gone, no. And my first comment was not, hello, sir. I've gone, so is this saying that you no longer work for a living?
Oh,
Because it was, we were no hat on, no formal or anything else. It was very informal, and it was, so is this where you turn around and tell me that you don't work for a living anymore? And he's just looked up and he's gone, oh. Because it was 10 years on. 10 years on, he's turned around, he's become a lieutenant. And
right?
It's like,
I got a story like that when I was in the Garden Reserves and all of that before. Then I went on active duty. 94, I go on active duty. I go to Korea. I got a guy that just is off of the drill instructor trail, so he's all still pumped up like that. He goes to Korea to try to get his next rank. Right. Flash forward to 1999. I go to Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. I'm walking in the motor pool and I hear a voice. He's now a E8 motor sergeant. And I'm like, oh, crap. And I go into the room and he's got a guy in front. Like, who are you? I'm like, he called me in, and I go in there and I'm like, man, how are you here? This is not, no,
Hi, lady. Ooh.
Careful, Jade. Whoa.
I didn't know I was echoing.
Okay, I got a question. I got a question for you. Like, guys will no balls dare another guy, right? Do girls do no tits or no clip dares?
Jeez, what the?
No, we just no balls each other.
No balls.
Okay, I didn't know.
It's lady balls. Come on now.
Okay.
Holy shit. And
I was curious
what
about
had happened was when we were taking off, when we caught our band.
Jesus.
I know both of our eyes were just like.
Yeah, like what? No balls.
That's definitely it. Michael's comment.
Yeah.
So they have
He has
the
no
game,
rails.
when Jen probably seen the game, especially at Ellsworth, where the guys, it's the whole hit the dick, guys hitting each other in the dick game.
Oh, I hate the pecker checker game. That sucks.
So there's certain games I play, and there's certain games I do not play. I
do not play that one.
You are. I don't play those games. Well, in my shop, it was the bouncy ball, and they would have a ball about the size of the bigger bouncy ball, and they would sit there, and you would bounce the ball at another dude's crotch, and if you flinch, you get hit. And
what?
blah blah blah. And they played this all the way up to the higher ups. And you'd walk into one of our boss's shops, and he would bounce the ball at you, and if you hit blah blah blah. And I told him one day, I'm like, I don't play that game. Like, he bounced it at me and he missed, and I was like, oh, I said, don't play that. You know, I don't play that. I said, if you hit me in the dick, I'm going to punch you in the chest, like straight up. And he was like, you know, whatever. And no shit, I went in the office and they bounced that ball. And he was sitting at his desk in his office chair, leaned back. And he was 3 ranks ahead of me. And I walked up to him. He didn't know us. I finished talking to the person I had to talk to. And I walked over to his desk while he was leaned back, sitting there like this, and rank on his Gore-Tex right in the center. I went,
Yep.
give him a 1-inch punch right in his sternum, and he looked like he fell out of his chair. He got up, and I'm like, what? He goes, you can't. I'm like, so do you want to bring this anywhere? Because this started with you hitting me in the dick.
Yeah.
So how is the paperwork gonna look? And he kind of looked at me, and the guy next to him, equal rank that he had, goes, he has a point. How do you want to write that shit up? You hit him in the dick, and he did tell you, and he goes, and he did tell you not to hit him in the dick or he'll punch you. So after that, Sergeant Irving was omitted from any dick games. Like, I don't play that shit, son.
Oh, I don't play the pecker checker game either. We had a bar in Korea.
Time. What's up, boss lady?
Hour past.
I know it is. It's like an hour past, and we're doing stuff, and we're just sitting here
and we're all
commiserating,
having
talking.
fun.
Yeah,
we're having fun. I do, but I would like to run through because I'm gonna go grab a drink while you run through your promo.
This beer review break is brought to you by Jade's Alcoholism. Jade's Alcoholism. Just joking.
Hey, alcoholics go to meetings. I just sit at home.
No. I've talked about it. Everyone knows about it. I have a lot of folks on here, and this is not the reason I sponsor Veterans Anonymous. I sponsor Veterans Anonymous, or help sponsor Veterans Anonymous, because I believe in what we do. I believe in why we're here. You know, we're here for the bigger picture. We're here for being there. What is that noise?
That was me moving a bag.
Oh, it's like,
sorry.
He's moving the earth. You know, you guys know the spiel. We have sauces and seasonings. The newest thing on the block right now is our coffee seasoning. Oh. If you haven't had this stuff, you are misinformed. It is freaking amazing. I've had it on pork chops. I've had it on ribs. I even had it on ice cream. Like, it is banging. And we have our coffee sauce literally like days away from launching.
That close.
Like literally that close. Just working on some barcode issues and some other stuff from the lab. They sent us a really messed up ingredient panel, so we have to make sure that's okay. Then I get the ingredient panel back, send it to my guy to make the label, send the label to the co-packer. He gets it sent to his label maker. I get to proof it. Then he gets to order it, and 2 weeks after that, we're in production. So probably sometime before October, we will have coffee.
Oh, nice.
And I just ordered another batch of Carolina Reaper powder, organic Reaper powder. So Reaper will be in production also here soon. So we will be full up on Reaper. Fortunately and unfortunately, I was wishing that I had a co-packer to get it so I can get it back wholesale, but it will be only on our website. But no, other than that, guys, just to give you an update on the food truck. We are securing the finances to finish the payment for the rest of the food truck. So hopefully by this Friday, we will have 100% of the funding for the food truck, and it'll be 100% guarantee and locked. No investments needed.
Awesome.
We wanted some investments, try to help some folks out make some money, but they just didn't really work out. I'll put it like that. Other than that, guys, you get on barbecuesauce.com. If you're a veteran, you have a code, hit me up. I have a code for veterans, so you can get a little discount on there. There's a lot that I'm working because it is only me on this end of the business. You know, we have our trademark going. We have our corporation getting stood up because of the food truck and the sauce, separating those two entities. And believe it or not, the motorcycle is, one, it's very therapeutic, but for two, it saves me miles on my truck that'll be hauling a trailer, because even though, yes, I'm riding it for fun, yesterday I got into 2 new locations because I rode my bike out there to those locations. So might be riding, but I'm also working while I'm riding. You know, stop, do business, and you know, so it's all one of those things. When you're running your own business, you have to find the time in your day to, like, those little moments in your day to be your hour, 2 hours, you know, because work don't stop. Like when I'm off this computer with you guys, I still have a bit of work to do every day. So I appreciate all the love and support. Keep on ordering, guys. Like I said, if you guys have a promo code out there, if you're a veteran, hit me up on Facebook and just let me know. All right. Other than that, back to the show.
So I did something.
You did something?
My graceful ass.
Oh, I heard.
Did you fall on snow again?
Did I what?
Did you slip on snow again?
No.
Oh, that TikTok of her out there in the snow. Yeah.
I make snow angels. No snow here just yet. It's been kind of hot here. Kind of like it was like 98 the last 2 days, and it was finally like 88 here. But Tuco was under the bed, and I was getting ready to leave, and so I'm telling him to get out from underneath the bed. And as I come around the corner, I just right into the corner of the bed frame with my kneecap.
Ow!
That's the same way my dad ended up breaking his toe. And you know the funny thing? It was his little toe.
I almost chopped off my little toe a couple weeks back. But because I even asked the group chat, was like, how can you tell if you broke your knee, like cracked or broke your kneecap? Just like X-ray. Well, I could still walk. So right now it's just kind of a little bit swollen. It's not horrible, but the bruising is probably. I have little hands, but.
Well, it's the same thing. Like I scratched.
It's about
my
this
cornea.
size. This size.
I've done that with the kneecap. Like you're touching your kneecap and you're like moving stuff around. You're like, I don't think that's supposed to be independent. And they're like, oh, it'll be fine. It'll reabsorb. It'll reabsorb. I'm like, what?
Wait, so kneecaps aren't supposed to move?
No, kneecaps can move.
You can move them.
You can move them, but I've had a chunk of the cartilage break off, and I've been able to move it.
Ew.
So I don't know if it's broken or cracked.
I thought that was normal.
If you're a veteran that worked your whole life.
I'm sitting here looking at my kneecaps.
Or a person that worked your whole life.
I'm like, okay, what's the range of motion on kneecap movement that's like not good?
It's only a big ass bruise and a little sensitivity. A little swelling. But we were talking about how like the cars and stuff like that, and getting out of cars that are low. So this week I've actually been driving the Focus, and I have to sit so close to the steering wheel that the light switch is this knob on the left side. And as I get out, my left knee just hits it every flipping time. So not only am I like, did I ram it?
Getting in, new vehicles, especially shorter vehicles that you don't know, racking your knee. My wife had a Cadillac when we first met, and her air conditioning vent, every time I'd get out that damn car, it would hit me. And oh my God. I'm like, how do you get in this vehicle without hitting that? She goes, I've never hit it. I'm like, I hit it every time.
Well, and this is one thing because when I was driving a patrol car, like I had to remember because I was the only female on my team. I had to remember to throw the seat back because they had like these older gentlemen would call me when I was at home, and they're like, "You fucking suck." Like, I was like, "I know I did all my checks and everything else. I did my reports. What did I do?" And they're like, "My knee is freaking killing me."
Cricket, I have a
I forgot to throw the seat back.
My mom's car, at one point, she owned this Volvo, and I thought I wasn't in the Air Force yet, but she went out of town for something, and I'm glad she doesn't watch this. But anyway, I took her brand new Volvo Turbo out on the town in New Orleans, and I remember I got in the car, I dressed all up, I got in the car, and it had automatic seats for the driver. Well, my mom is your height, Jade. And that I didn't know how to work the seat. So I get in, turn the key on, and the steering wheel starts coming down and the seat starts going forward. And it was like a horror movie. I'm sitting here like panicking, and it's like
the conveyor belt to the
and I just get crushed into the steering wheel, and I'm like trying to find the button. And I finally find the button, and it gets worse. I find the button, and I slide it all the way back to where I go. And I don't know, well, we won't say why the seat had to recline all the way back. Anyway, later that night, well, the seat broke in the far back reclined position that weekend, and I'm like, freak! It wouldn't work. It wouldn't move. So I brought it to Volvo. No. They fixed it. Bad. I was like, whoo! Got it home, washed it, put it away. Literally, like I think it was a couple weeks later. I think it was like holidays. I was home, Thanksgiving. The phone rings, and I pick it up. Mom's like, get the phone. I'm like, all right, cool. I pick it up, and it was Volvo calling to ask if I was satisfied with the service on the car, and I was like, yes. I'm like, wait, but are you guys gonna call for anything else on what happened? The guy goes, what do you mean? I'm like, I just want to know if I'm expecting any more calls. You know, expecting any more calls from Volvo. They go like, no, we just do one service call after some service. I'm like, okay, cool, just talk. All right, cool, bye. Like,
you skated it on that one. Now, what's funny is my dad. I've sat there like as I got older.
Yes.
I'm not tall enough.
I felt that.
Even reading it, I felt it.
Well, that's like that Facebook meme where it's like you can't smell a photo. Yeah, you can.
But you can feel one. You can feel one.
You can smell a photo. You see guys coming out of a tear gas chamber. You smell that.
No, I don't, because I did not take my mask off because why?
Well, in the army, they made
an option.
What?
They didn't give us the option.
Yeah, no, they didn't
give option. They're like, you want to take your mask off? I'm like, no, I'm good.
Bro,
no, they made us take it off, put it above our head. We had to say like our name, our full social, our date of birth, and then we had to walk out while flapping our arms.
Yes. Exactly. That's what we had to do.
They were like,
the second time I did the gas chamber, it had to stay in there for a promotion ceremony.
Yeah, they were like, all right, we're in the gas chamber sitting there. They put the little pill in two deals, and they let them go off, and they're like, all right, anyone in here, because they had the emitter on their mask so you could hear them talking, and which I think I still have an emitter for my old school mask. Anyway, and they're like, anyone wants to take their mask off, go for it. And we had like 5 people take their masks off and sit there, and they had to do all that shit. And I'm like, and the guy goes, how come you take your mask off? I'm like, because I have a gas mask on. And why, if I'm getting attacked with gas mask, would I take my mask off? And he goes, valid point, Airman. I'm like, exactly. I'm like, if I got gear on to protect, it's like, I have a bulletproof vest on. Oh, we're in a firefight. Let's take it off. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, why am I taking the mask off? I want to see if it works. Oh, well, it worked.
Okay, flashing back to like the 70s when my dad was a drill. he tells me stories like, oh, our tear gas day was the best day, because they would like double dose,
They would go crazy with it.
Oh yeah. And then they would just stand there and be like, ha ha ha, because they were used to it. I honestly believe my dad, he can breathe tear gas and CS. I know
There's
that.
probably some vets out there that can.
He probably did the Bobcat thing out of Police Academy.
I could definitely see that with my dad, Ducky. I definitely could see that. Yeah.
Cricket's going, what the hell is the Bobcat thing? Bobcat was one of the character that
Bobcat
screamed
Goldthwait.
all the time.
Wait.
Yeah, Bobcat.
I run with a Ferris wheel.
He actually makes really good movies now.
Mm. But funnily enough, in Police Academy, they are doing the gas chamber and everything else, and he sticks his head out, says, "Oh yeah, I'm going back in," and shuts the door behind him and walks back into it.
Spaghetti before the gas chamber. What sadistic branch were you in?
Navy.
They gave us spaghetti.
Army.
They gave us spaghetti and red Kool-Aid. I've said it before. I came out with pink ACUs because the person behind me
Fuck, I went to
let it all out on me.
I've got a really good T-shirt for it.
I went to Fort Leonard Wood in the summer in Missouri with like 100% heat, 100% humidity. We had T-shirts on in the tear gas chamber and our pants rolled up because it was too hot.
Yeah.
Ducky, I couldn't read the small
I also
print on that.
failed we had a course that we had to go, and this is why being a little bit older going to basic kind of worked for me and didn't work for me.
Nerd,
so we had a little
person you meet
after saying hold my beer
and watch this.
And watch this. So we had a confidence little thing where we marched out into the woods and we had to go rescue a downed missile. And there was this cord, and I don't know if you did this, Jen. And so they had like wood, planks, rope, and some other shit. And I worked in a job where I worked in the oil fields, nuclear power plant. So I had ocean, all that other shit. So I get there and we had our little team and they're like, what's your plan? And I'm like, to wait for hazardous response to come pick this shit up. Like, I didn't say shit, but wait for hazardous response. Like, we don't have anything. Well, you got to figure it out. I'm like, and everything we did, of course, we died. Like, you get the rope over we died. Like, everything we did, we died. And I'm like, exactly, that's what's going to happen. So what I would do if I ran up on a missile leaking whatever, I would wait till the appropriate authorities come pick it up, or whoever had to do this shit, and they would do it. Like, because what's your plan? Well, and my first plan was cordon off the area, post security, and just wait for the people to come pick it up properly. And they were like, and that's what we did for the first 5 minutes. And the guy comes over and goes, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "We're waiting for whoever can come pick this up with the proper gear." And they're like, "What?" I'm like, "Well, you say it's leaking fuel, right?" I'm like, "We don't have anything to deal with leaking fuel." Like, I was too like, what would really happen? And they were like, "Well, you have to go move it." And I'm like, "Okay, let's play this game." And everything we did, we died. And I'm like, "See, we're all dead." So is that the point of this exercise? He was so mad at me. I'm so glad he wasn't a TI though. Woo!
Mike, we had this guy, Mike Mannon, by the way, is driving for Kyle Killinger on Because He's My Brother, 3,000 miles across the country.
Taking care of our baby Jesus.
And Mike, I hated people like you because we had people in the tear gas chamber that pulled off their mask and just sat there and breathed. They're looking at me and I'm dying. I got snot boogers like down to my knees.
It gave me a runny nose, and that was about it. It made my throat itch a little, but it wasn't too bad. And then we had the people behind us that were gagging and puking, and I'm just like, that's nasty. I'm gonna go stand over there, like, because I'm a sympathy puker. So that was the first thing I did is I booked it out of there because I heard someone behind us go, "Whoop," and I was like, I booked it out of there. I was like,
Jen, I hear my cat start to hack up a hairball. I almost puke.
See, animal puke, that's how I know I'm meant to be a vet tech, because animal puke, if it's on me, I'm just like, well, this is shitty, and I wipe it off and I go about my day. If it's a human, holy moly, I'm having a bad day.
No,
How did you go changing diapers then?
I honestly, man, I pawn it off on my husband every opportunity that I have. And I'm literally like, when I have to change a poopy diaper. It's terrible. That's why I only have one kid. That's why I have one. No more.
One.
My better half, she's going to hate me for saying this, but she has a very weak stomach. Any bad smell in the house, it doesn't matter if it's weed, doesn't matter anything, any bad smell, she will gag. And one of these nights, I ended up opening a lunchbox that the kids had hidden from us.
Oh! I straight up would have thrown that away.
Yeah. My buddy's a big.
I ended up
Marine, and same thing, big old bearded, big old Marine dude, and like kid poop. They have 4 kids, 4 or 5 kids, and straight up, his wife's like, "Yeah, he doesn't change. He doesn't do the bad shits, puke." And I'm like, "No way! Like not this dude. Like what?" And straight up, he's like, "You can't even make the puking noise. Like you can't go around him. He'll be like."
Let's
like,
not make him sick.
See, that is fine. See, that I can handle. But there was one time my child started puking, and I literally went, "Ah!" and like tossed her to Matthew. And I'm in my bedroom. I have a towel stuffed under the door. This child puked all over Matthew, and I'm like, "Nope." He's like,
"You deal with it."
Yeah, I put bleach spray and like cleaning. So I shut the bathroom door because he was holding her in the bathroom, and I'm just like, "Here's the cleaning supplies. I'm gonna be in my room. Don't come get me."
Your kid.
I was like, "Here, Matt. She's gonna puke." I knew it. She was she was acting like it. Yeah, and I literally I shoved him to the bathroom where there's tile, handed him the kid, and booked it. I was like, "No." She threw up on the carpet one time, and I was just sitting there like, locked my child. And she was acting perfectly fine, but I still locked her in the bathroom, and I called my husband. I'm like, "You need to come home." He's like, "She puked. I need you to come home now." Thankfully, he did.
Like that. They just it just happened.
Yeah.
In my traveling across Australia and everything else, when we had the twins, they were very young. And so you can imagine diapers and everything else. And we were driving for 8 hours from where we are here in Adelaide. We drove over to Sydney to see friends of ours. And unfortunately, what happened was we were heating or doing the bottle feed and everything else. Kids were fine. And just as we got to the accommodation in Sydney, not one, not two, but all 3 fired at both ends at the same time.
Oh, you poor fucker.
See, Ducky, this is why I have one. This is why I have one child and no more. So she's coming out at both ends. We have 2 other bathrooms, one for me, one for my husband, and one for her. We can't have any more kids because I can't all the poop and puke and
this is why I have 0 kids.
My son, the first day out the shoot, swaddled in my lap, like on the phone with my dad, telling him he has a grandson. He straight peed through his swaddle through the blanket into my lap, and I'm like, and for the first 5 years of his life, which his mom made me get rid of, in the Air Force, you have a little green book. Well, I had a little green book of every time he peed on me, every time he puked on me, and shit on me. So I was going to purposefully, when I was older, pay him back for each time, like have to pick me up from the bar and puke in his car, and like like have him, all of it. I had it planned, and she goes, "Why would you?" I'm like, "Because it's what dads are supposed to do." Like, it's awesome. Like, you have your son pick you up from the bar, and then you need to pee, and he's trying to get you in the car, and you pull your shit out, and you're like, you get in his car, and he's driving, and all the stuff kids do, but they're kids. But now I'm older, and you know what? I still might do that to little shit because he deserves it.
Well, have you seen those TikToks where the parents go when the kids finally get their own place?
Yeah, and they go in and open the door and just start throwing.
Turn all the lights on.
Open the fridge and don't close it.
My dad actually told me one time when his mom, my grandma, was dying. We're out in the parking lot breaking the rules. We had a freaking rent-a-cop come by in a golf cart. You're like, you can't smoke here. We both look at him and we're like, and my dad's like, it's a good thing you didn't get married and have kids. And I'm like, why, Dad? He goes, yeah, that would not have worked out well.
Well, all of our boys have peed on me, and they have peed in their own faces.
It happened
on the change table. You just see the stream come up and down.
It's okay. So it's me and my 3 sisters, right? And we had all of these boys. So when we're changing these boys, we don't think about the whole aiming system. And they have all peed in their own faces. It was like, is this normal? My mom's like, I don't know. I had you 4 girls.
It's normal.
You just imagine the stream.
Well, my oldest nephew, and I'm sure he's going to freaking love me for saying this, but boy, when he was a baby, my friend was actually sitting so we're on the couch. He's in the middle cushion, and his head is pointed towards her. My friend is at his head on the couch. He peed over himself and onto her. And she's like, what the fuck? I'm like it's just pee. PPTP. I've heard of these. They didn't have them when they were little, though. The youngest
exactly. They've only been invented in the last 10 years.
Well, my youngest nephew is...
My son tried a couple times, and I realized I dodged it twice. After that, I realized when that little thing hits fresh air, it's like freaking woohoo! And so once I had to cup it. I just got used to that. I'd pull the diaper down and I would like whoop, and let him finish, and then clean him up. It was always bloop. Because I was just like, it's just gonna fucking happen.
And Audie, yeah, that old joke gets old, man. My pull-out game's better than Biden's.
I'm pretty sure I've got a meme of that at the moment.
I don't believe he even knows if he's even in.
Who, me or Biden? Man, I'm hung like a hamster, dude.
I always
We're just talking about you, Si.
So people take dick jokes,
at least you don't have a koala's dick.
So my dick joke is this: I hang 2 inches from the ground when I'm laying on my belly.
Yeah.
Think about it.
I can't argue, man.
We bid you adieu.
Well, you've got to remember one thing. I'm going into summer, so everything's about to get longer.
Jesus.
He expands things.
Boom, boom, boom. I might not be able to bottom it out, but I'll hit the sides all night long.
I gotta go. I'm really busy. Oh, let's see. Actually, busy. Believe. Yay! It finally is coming in clear.
Nice.
So our new slide here with veterans.
W actually came in and put it up.
Cool bean.
I thought I heard him pop in, but I digress. So we are the network called Veterans Anonymous. You can catch us on twitch.tv/vetsanon, YouTube Veterans Anonymous. Like I have mentioned before, if you are wanting to go and find our old shows and stuff like that, that is where you're actually going to be able to, because on Veterans Anonymous 22 on Facebook, our streams don't stay up past a certain amount of time. It's just something that Facebook is doing with streaming pages. You can catch us Tuesday nights, like 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Scramjet with W, Uncle Si, Kittens, Trader. Just kidding. The American, when he is able to hop on. You can catch us here Wednesday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Crossroads. And then filling out your week with a safety brief, depending on Mr. American. What the fuck? Our sauce boss. But on Thursdays, Full Metal Crayon Eaters with our two favorite Marines, Tommy Indifferent and Sweet Baby Jesus. We also have information here about going and checking out our brother, Kyle Killinger, our Sweet Baby Jesus, as he is running over 3,000 miles across America to bring awareness to veteran suicide. He is currently over halfway there. So, and as well, we have our Gmail here that if you are interested, or if you have resources or programs or something like that that you would like us to take a look at and possibly plug, go ahead and just email us there. Yay, it finally works. So excited.
So excited.
And then you have this. Yes. Tommy Indifferent's birthday. What is that? Had to again because it is his birthday, which I found really cool because he's on day 445 of his push-ups that he does 22 a day. And he just turned 45 today. So there you go. Okay. So Michael, we said good night. Dadgummit.
Sorry about that. My doggies were growing ape poop.
Water in the what?
I said my doggies were going ape poop.
I know. Frank confused me as usual.
Frank is confusing. And yeah, the water's cold, but it's also deep, Frank.
The water's cold for backsplash when you eat too much spicy food.
Hey, I used to live in
before.
OKC.
Mike-
Where are you guys going? Why are you there? What are you doing? I was stationed at
Mike
Tinker.
is the driver for Baby Jesus right now.
Nice.
Norman,
And he's taking amazing
Norman,
care of Kyle.
Oklahoma, and Oklahoma City, which is pretty much like just the suburbs of Norman, Oklahoma is like a suburb of Oklahoma City.
Yeah, I knew a cat from Norman, Oklahoma on active duty. He was kind of cool.
And I'm thinking if I know any vets there. No, I do not.
See, this is kind of funny. Frank's actually older than me, so I'm not the old guy on the show tonight. Well, I am, but you know.
Well, we'll have Frank on and ask him how Jesus was as a drill instructor.
Hey, I've already made that gag about the he's got the nail of the cross.
Oh, Frank, you're close. I'm only 52.
Oh, mother bitches. I gotta go back.
I'm so glad that I'm not there yet.
I literally made a post on Facebook today, which cracked me up because I was like, oh, I remember this. It was like this year. And somebody else was like, oh, I don't remember that. It's all fuzzy too, right? And I was like, it took me a minute to actually process that. And I'm like, this motherfucker's like 20 years younger than me. They're making each. Oh, I get it. Yeah.
Kittens. We'll just hide, lady.
Yeah,
no,
that's like.
Hey, I'm not there yet, so I'm gonna drop my.
We'll get there.
I still have technically 3 years till 50.
She's not even 30.
It's all good.
It's all good. So
So am I playing dead center?
Neither are you.
yes,
Jade?
I am. I'm 35.
Okay, it is.
I'm playing dead center. Yay! I'm playing the middle child.
So we're all young at heart. We're just broken bodies.
Jenna's a baby.
She is a baby.
I will be
It's a
30
potato.
soon. I will be 30 soon.
Soon.
Yes, soon. It's rapidly approaching.
And I want to congratulate you on doing the couch to the 5K thing. Kick ass.
Yeah.
Glad you're doctor. Yeah.
I am so glad to be running
I was just
again.
gonna ask you, like, how's that going with you? Because I know that you mentioned that you were bye.
I'm definitely out of shape, so I was huffing and puffing, but no knee pain, which is nice. Unlike
Huffing and puffing. I'm pretty sure that's something else.
I was going to say
No.
huffing and
He's
puffing.
not in Colorado like me. Hello.
I was going to say huffing and puffing. That's what Matt likes.
Jesus.
Good night, Sigh. We're gonna have to make a clip of like a collaboration of me just saying Sigh.
Soon it's going to be Ducky versus Cy.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I want to do a dirty 30 photo shoot with my best friend who turns 40 in the same month that I turned 30. So she wants to do fabulous 40s and I want to do dirty 30s, and we dress up like 80s and do a best friend photo shoot together.
Oh, that'd be cool.
I love it.
Yes.
Awesome.
Jen, that's awesome, but you're already dressing up like an 80s character anyway.
No, I'm dressing up like it's Ace Ventura.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to comment on that.
I'm a dude, and I'm sorry, have never gotten that reference because I've never done that.
Well, black don't crack. You can get a woman at a freaking Eskimo site, bro. Some of us had to work for it, and we never had that. So
I had to work. You think like I just walked in and was like, what's that? No, you gotta work. You gotta say stuff like, how you doing? My name is Felix. Nice to meet you.
Well, some of us in the Army, when we were deployed, had to handle things ourselves.
Now, I'm not gonna lie. Being in the Air Force and looking like I do in Canada, that was another world. And it's kind of like Australia. When I was there, it's like, hi, how you doing? They're like, oh, you're American. I'm like, yeah. They're like, what do you do? I'm like, I'm military. And they're like, oh. And you're just like, this can't be real.
Right?
What?
Does that not describe my content?
That is
Fully. And the hair, you got to figure out how to get your hair to stick out like that. Like pigtails with the...
I heard
There's something about Mary hair.
I heard a snort. Which one was it? Who snorted? Who snorted?
Wasn't me.
Not I.
I said the fly.
I didn't snort.
Frank, I didn't have socks, man. Come on.
Loincloth.
No,
it was just dirt.
Speaking of Ace Ventura, I saw this funny TikTok about this. He's a ranger. He was talking about how their packs are like 100, 130 pounds and stuff like that, and it like the weight would actually like cut their nerve, or not cut it, but like sit on that nerve, causing your arm to like go completely numb. And the only way to really like get that feeling back is like Ace Ventura when he's got the darts in his arms and he's like running through. He's like, that's the only way to really fix it. So it's like that when you said Ace Ventura, I was thinking about that.
The arms flying.
Yes, I'm sure she has a few. No,
I have Yeah, I have a rainbow, a white one, and a black one. So 3, I think.
Okay, here's the next question. With the tutus, do you hang them upside down or are they flat?
No, I hang them up so I just slip it through the waistband.
That's showing my I've got a dancer in the house.
I have an entire closet dedicated to TikTok stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It shares a slot with the vacuum cleaner, brooms and stuff. So my poor husband. Yeah, I'll have to figure out how to get it. It's just I've got a lot of hair.
You have a fold over and a pack down. Look it up.
I'm thinking I'll just have to do like 2 messy buns on either side.
She'll have to get a bumper.
Yeah, and have like the tail of your hair sticking outward.
Maybe pipe cleaners.
She'll have to get a bumper.
Cleaners. No, I refuse. I won't. I can't tease my hair like that. I got naturally curly hair.
No, a bumper. You know how it sits up?
Yeah, but you still have to tease your hair for the bumpets in order for it to lay correctly. You still have to tease your hair in order to flip it and get it. And I can't do that with my hair. I'll never be able to get a brush through it. I learned that the hard way.
What the hell did I walk back into?
We're talking about making your beard curly.
And
putting a perm in it.
That ain't gonna.
I know.
Yeah, no, that ain't gonna happen. No.
Actually, have you seen that new TikTok that's going around about the woman going into the TSA with the friend has put something in the bag, and the TSA guy opens the bag, looks, shuts it again, and just looks at her.
Oh yeah, like the purple dildos and all of that. Yeah, that's that. Yeah.
And you just know the guy's open, looked, gone. And
Mike,
it's just that one face.
That bitch Carol Baskin just sold that. Just
wow.
A random thing that I know. And most of the
know
tigers that were there are actually here in Colorado at a sanctuary.
Yep, and there are more tigers in Texas than anywhere else in the world.
Mm-hmm.
The more you
know.
That.
I am not gonna lie. If I had the opportunity to pet a tiger, that would be how I die. I'd be like, "Oh, look at those paws."
No. I see Big Kitty, and I'm just like, those are murder mittens, and a nope.
Oh, you saw that video? We need to find these of the guys on the motorcycle.
I don't want to work with them. No.
Can you imagine the fur motor on a tiger?
It's all fun and games until it eats you.
Well, that one where the guys are driving in the woods or forest, and that tiger's chasing them, and it tries to cut the road behind them. That's my dogs.
Yeah.
Hey, Bubby.
I got sirens.
Also, the other thing is that tigers, leopards, and one of the other big lions, they don't purr.
No, actually, I've watched a bunch of zoo shows. Tigers actually purr.
Okay.
Where the hell have you been, Frank?
Netflix. Type in Joe Exotic, Netflix.
No,
Who
Tiger
is Joe
King.
Exotic? You're
Joking.
joking.
King.
You're
Tiger
joking.
King.
There's
Carol
no.
That's
Baskin.
bitch Carol Baskin.
He killed her husband.
I even know of Joe Exotic and Carol Baskin. Holy crap, Frank.
Fuck is
Carol Baskin. Killed her. That was a ring. I had that as a ringtone for like almost a year.
I was gonna say. We got puppers howling now. Bunch of sirens going off. And that's another thing too. That
Here it goes.
No, also because of the way the wind is here in Adelaide.
Husband,
Smacked him. Did it happen? The tigers be smacking. What's happened? Carol Baskin. That's enough
Frank,
to get
okay,
it.
so seriously, Tiger King, I thought it was like gonna be some stupid. Well, it is fucking
It
stupid
was,
shit.
but it was so.
It is the dumbest fucking shit that you cannot stop watching.
It's the thing.
Yes.
No,
This is a murder or a suicide.
Jade,
Yeah.
I would tell you one thing: the Kardashians is the worst thing you could watch.
No, fuck them stupid bitches.
I would
No, it's the
rather.
worst thing.
Yeah, I said
No
what I said.
value.
Yeah, I said I'd
At
rather
least-
watch Joe Exotic instead
At
of the
least the
Kardashians.
Joe gave you the plight of the animals.
And they had big cats. Come on, how would you not like to hug one of them big fur babies?
Because they want to eat your face.
Maybe. Mike
Yes.
Rupert wants to eat my face.
Okay, all right. But like this, me going up to hug a tiger would be like you going to Compton to hug a dealer on the corner that you don't know.
Bro, I got game. I can walk up to anybody. I've scored weed in Korea.
For free.
Equally dangerous, and you might not know the outcome, but you might die.
I honestly would probably like the baby tigers.
It's like people with
the
bears
big ones. Nope.
because they personify animals in like Disney movies and stuff. And like
Yeah.
out here in the Black Hills, which Jen can attest to, people come out here and see the buffalo, and they're like, one couple took a baby bison and put it in the back of their car in the winter because they're like, oh, it's gonna freeze. And they brought it to the ranger station, and the rangers are like, they didn't do it like this, but the ranger pretty much was like, okay, cool, took it and went like,
Yeah.
you know, because first of all, you can't walk around the forest going, is this your baby? Is this your baby? And it's like, it's a bison. Or the people that walk out to go pet shit or see bears, and they're like, oh, it's a bear. It's Yogi. Yogi will eat your face.
That's a fucking grizzly.
Well,
There's a video on YouTube of a family from the 70s in a wild animal park, and they get out the car and they had reel-to-reel recorders, and they get eaten in front of their family because they got out of the car, and a pride of lion, the lionesses were like, are you really, like, you even see the lions go, is this they're like kind
Am I
of
being
like,
punked?
they got out the car, like they got the car and they went okay, and it wasn't even a big, they walked up and was like womp, and they started, you can hear the bone crunching on the camera.
Yeah, that's exactly how Tiger King is.
It is like watching a car crash into a plane.
I went to Yellowstone
and then the building falls down, Jennifer.
2019, and there was a grown-ass man telling his daughter that bison are just like big cows.
I was just
Big murder cows.
Murder fucking cows.
I was just getting ready to ask Felix. I saw a news report today that said somebody tried to pet the big fluffy buffalo.
Put it like this, I have a video from way back in the day when I was up in the hills drinking with some buddies. We had one of our guys driving my truck home, and this was like the second year I was here, and we had to stop because the road was blocked because there was a bison on the side of the road. And unfortunately in the military, and all you can attest to it, if no matter on duty or off duty, if you're the ranking individual there, you're in charge. So
Yeah.
I'm hammered. And I get out the back of my truck, and this dude gets out of his vehicle after he was surfing on top of it. And he goes and picks a bunch of dandelions to go feed the buffalo. So I pull out my camera and record him. As I'm recording him, I'm going, hey, don't do this. Get away from the buffalo person. I'm not going to say his name. Don't go up to the buffalo. My friend's like, what are you doing? I'm like, because when he gets gored or trampled,
Right.
the Air Force comes after me because why didn't I stop him? I'm going to show him this video because what am I supposed to do? Like, go tackle a grown-ass man in front of a buffalo? Like, no. Like, dude, yeah, you don't mess with wild animals. Sorry.
I
would say if this is about Tiger King, ask your dad first because it is a little mature.
when I was
Amber?
I'm not gonna say Amber, go ahead and watch it. Like no, but that's a show that your parents should
when I camped in
check out for you. 12.
I camped in Arizona. I camped in Yellowstone, and we were driving through it.
What?
And we got stopped by a bison, like parade. I don't know. And we're sitting there, and I'm in a little 98 S10 truck, right? This big male buffalo decides to look, and the female Rottweiler that we had in the truck said, "Boof, this freaking bison buffalo, I don't care."
American buffalo, it's the same damn thing.
It hit my truck and rocked it. I dropped that thing into first gear, smack second, and took the fuck off. I was on gravel. I was like, no, I'm not going to die in my truck with a buffalo. No.
What's up, Jake?
Just letting you know that...
Hearing shit.
Why are you looking at me all suspect?
Yeah, just letting you know that the house that I'm in, as soon as I get a northerly breeze, it actually vibrates the corrugated iron. So it could actually be my the sound coming off of the roof that you're hearing. And it vibrates at a really weird tempo. So.
Odd. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached our 2-hour mark. We are going to start heading out. It's actually been really fun. Like, we were gonna play a game, but our bullshitting and shenanigans has taken up the time. So the American, I know that you need to head out here soon as you will with your final thoughts, good sir.
Sorry about that.
Well, guys, like I've been talking about, don't let what's going on over there get to you. Like I talked to Bradley in text message, and I'll tell that to anybody. It's almost like trying to predicate what God says. Ours is not the will of why we're doing it. It is just what we have to do. Whatever job you had to do, you did your job to the best of your ability, and that was all we were supposed to do. That's all we could do. So all of that is not a failure on your part. It's a failure on the leadership of the country that makes us go there or not be there. Because truly, we're just the bullet. We're not the person pulling the trigger to send us places, and all that other stuff. So don't get all twisted up on it. I saw a video of a guy saying he's putting together a team of people to go overseas and rescue. Don't get caught up in the hype. Just know that you did what you had to do, and you did a good job because you made it back. And more people made it back because you did your job than didn't. So, and that's what makes me sleep soundly at night, even though I still have issues with it. I'm not happy. I'm not saying don't be mad. Don't be, annoyed. Don't be furious.
Right.
But don't let it call your service and what you did into question, because you did what you did, and that's all you could have done. And it sounds like a riddle, but it's not, because we're in the military. We were in the military. So you were told to go up that hill, you go up that fucking hill. You don't know why. Some people know, but that's people above you. While we're up here, how many people have that whole, like, why the fuck are we here? You know how many times I've been in the middle of the desert without a plane to work on, and I'm like, I'm aircraft maintenance. Where the fucking planes at? And then 2 weeks later, oh look, there's planes. Like, oh, okay, I get it. So don't get it twisted, folks. Don't let what's going on in the media and everything get to you. Because that's what they're trying to do. And reach out to folks. Reach out to us. Reach out on Facebook. Reach out to your friends. Like everyone says, if someone doesn't answer, keep calling. It happens to me too. I call people, they don't pick up. I get frustrated. I call someone else. Remember, you have hobbies, you have releases, you have the ability to get out of that headspace and use them. So that's what I have to say. Love you guys all, and I will see you next week. Peace.
Thank you so much again. I'm glad you were able to make it this week with us. Miss Kittens.
Mine is short and sweet. Take time this week to focus on you, recharge your batteries, do what you need to do, and that way you can help other people.
Uncle Si,
Yeah,
if you will.
it's definitely.
like I always say, reach out, and if the person you reach out to doesn't answer, reach out to somebody else. Keep reaching out. You know, I've been around a little while in this community and stuff like that. I've seen a lot of times where somebody reaches out and they're like, "Oh, this motherfucker didn't answer me," you know, and it's like, well, call somebody else. That person might have been reaching out themselves, you know. Yeah, but just don't take the yeah, just reach out. All I got.
Ducky.
Sorry about this bloody house. I can't wait to move. Trust me. I've got a month left in this house and I can't fucking wait. Because I've got 6 people in a 3-bedroom apartment block and we are tripping over each other. So my final thought is pretty much along the same lines of, it didn't matter if we pulled out 10 years ago. It didn't matter if we pulled out yesterday. It didn't matter if we pulled out 10 years from now. It was still going to happen. If we didn't pull out now, we would still 3, 4 presidents, prime ministers. They're going through over here in Australia at the same time. We don't know. But it doesn't matter that we pulled out how we did. It's a matter of looking after your battle buddy, looking after your mates and making sure they're fine. If we don't check on our mates, you never know, your phone call might be the one that saves them.
Yes.
So, yeah, sorry, it's a little dark this week.
Oh no, like in all honesty, like Felix was saying it, we're all feeling it. We all have different feelings and stuff like that. And it honestly, to me, didn't click with what's going on and why are we feeling like this and like all these feelings and stuff like that. But it honestly, a young NCO who I don't even know if she was old enough to remember 9/11, she nailed it on the head with, it's grief.
Oh yeah, exactly.
And with grief, there's different stages of grief, which is what everybody is feeling, and just being aware of that, like, has actually helped me realize my feelings about what's going on. I know I didn't go to Afghanistan. Like I said, I've gone to Iraq, and I know that there's a lot of similarities with what happened and stuff like that, and it makes you feel a certain way. But you know, and in all honesty, once I realized that, like, grief and the cycle of grief and going through it has helped me a lot, knowing that. So, like, we're here every week. We try to be just a distraction to the chaos that is going. And yes, there is a big elephant in the room now. But we will do our best to be there for each other, and as we move past and get past this. So tomorrow you can catch our Full Metal Crayon Eaters. We'll say happy birthday one more time.
What is that?
That unfortunately is someone's photo that doesn't come through properly.
I know. Well, it's Tom in a wig, and I can't remember what he was attempting to get at, but it went horribly sideways.
Trust me, Ducky, you do not want to see a clear picture of that.
And then when
I think that was trying to be Napoleon.
I
Napoleon,
think,
yes,
Dynamite.
yes, exactly, yes.
but it didn't hit right.
No.
But that's our Tommy Indifferent that you can catch tomorrow. His birthday, like I said, is today. So we all wish him happy birthday. Final? What the hell? I don't know what this one does, but we will catch you next week here on the Crossroads. Bye.